I'll incline myself to taking your questions, or to responding to anything that you want to ask me about, because just about everything has been covered. And when I say that, I really mean that. When I hear Dr. Ajay here talking to students at midnight, I say that is TYP. That is on the telephone. And students know that they can expect that they can depend on that. I know that, and I can think of TYP students going over essays with staff here at all hours of the night. When I hear people make reference to, when I hear Leah make reference to low pay, I remember the beginnings of TYP, where those of us who taught TYP, people calling us professors and all that sort of thing, but you taught at TYP, you taught during the school year, and then you went on welfare. Not welfare, what's it called? On unemployment. Yes, we taught and then went on unemployment. What I'm trying to say is, so when you cover those fundamental facts, you know what TYP is all about. And you appreciate that TYP is built on people giving their time. And when I say people giving their time, I mean not only faculty and staff, but students. Students being people who are dedicated to, despite having children, families, extraordinary difficulties in their lives, people committing to spend the time to try to succeed. So that is what TYP is. I had prepared myself to talk a bit about the notion of transformation, which the second session here will be focusing on. And so I thought about transformation and the things that were imperative for that transformation to occur. And it was that again, giving time, giving of your abilities. And I wondered whether the way forward that is proposed for us, I don't think that it is politic. I don't think that it is strategic for us who are on faculty and staff to approach in any detail the elements of the dispute that is going on. And so I will say merely that if going forward the change, any change that is proposed, contemplates improving those elements, that is, the amount of time that that students and faculty and staff are able to dedicate to the task, to the project. If that is what it means, then we should all be for it. But we don't think so. With the experience that we have in working with this program, leads us to be certain that the proposed change, I will say specifically and directly this much, does not suggest that there will be a regime that can take account of the fact that TYP faculty are teaching at midnight. It is not likely that it will take account of the fact that people like Kieran and Dr. Keith Allen, who is not very well right now, but I was talking to him on Saturday, and I noted him talking about how difficult it was to be teaching as well as administering the program. And he talked about having the phone in one hand and talking to a student who would walk back from classes with him, helping them with something in mathematics, and signing papers on the other hand. He talked about the amount of work that was involved. And I don't think that going over to any location is going to provide us with any location that is a box, that doesn't take into account the asymmetrical. And TYP people, the students and the staff, we all are from outside the box, as that creative expression goes. We are not standard. You can't fit us into a regular box like that. In other words, when somebody needs to talk to you or needs to have some feedback from you at whatever hour, you have to be flexible. You have to be able to respond to them. I think of people like Guy Allen holding classes at home. I think of people like Ivy Lukács having a chair, a bed in her office because she'd be at work so late at night. I think of here on Saturdays, the amount of work, teaching to 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds, just organizing that, the children of students themselves on Saturdays. I think of Rosalind trekking from one end of this city to the other, doing outreach while she's teaching. I think from the beginnings to the present, I think of unnamed members of staff at halfway houses, where people who are in transition from prison and so on, and are enrolled at TYP. And at midnight, members of the faculty, they're working with this student who later will become a psychologist, goes to McMaster, and is off somewhere. He is, and he couldn't do that if somebody wasn't prepared to go and sit with him in that halfway house, or whatever it's called, to work with him. I think of Stan in the present moment, going to this place and that place, teaching. We can't be fit into a box. We can't be fit into some standard formula in some I'll be blunt, in some college somewhere. I think of Horace yes. Down here on Saturdays, yes. On Sundays, yes. Doing seminars for the sociology students. Tom Mayfield next to me, the floor is worn out. The students coming. The principle on which we operate in TYP is just say yes. Everybody at TYP, I think of Merli teaching ESL and Spanish. Merli has no business teaching Spanish. They can't pay Merli for that. They can't pay Merli for that. But here she is, organizing everything that we need. Where is that going to be done for us anywhere else but in a situation where we are autonomous? I didn't plan to be this specific, but I can't help being. And I made notes so I wouldn't get too angry. And so on. I think of all kinds of people, of Sally Walker, over, yes, TYP costs, but what is the amount of time that TYP takes out of Sally Walker over at New College? Over at New College. I mean, our students need, our people, for the time that they are transitioning, need more time. And unless what is being talked about is some means of maintaining that amount of time and enhancing it, yes. Don't tell us that that is a move that is good for our people. Don't tell us that. TYP is people on this faculty. They talk about Guy Allen holding classes at his home, delivering first drafts to students who can't make it down to school, delivering first drafts to Joe Kukta and to this person and that person whose names you can't even remember, all over the city. You're going and delivering first drafts to their houses, to their homes, yes. So that they can get the work done that evening and get it back into their options and whatever they're doing. That is what TYP is, what college here is going to honor the fact that you spend an hour and a half editing a 3-page paper. Thank you. You're spending an hour and a half editing a 3-page paper, and I'm eternally grateful to Kieran, because I used to edit in red, and I heard that when I saw a paper edited by Tom, by Ivy, chock-a-block with information, that person can keep that paper until they are able to correct all of these various problems that the paper has shown up. So I won't talk anymore, because I just don't know. I'll just take your questions.